Tonight's MC and headlining poet is a nationally acclaimed spoken word artist. She has been the Austin, Texas Individual World Poetry Slam representative, as well as a two-time member of the renowned Austin Poetry Slam. Author of 3 self-published books and 1 full-length collection titled And Then Came the Flood. Please help me welcome Lacey Roop.
How's it going, guys? All right. So I will be your MC tonight. The funny thing is that in all the years I've been doing poetry, I have never actually MC'd before. I know, so I'm pretty excited about this. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce the first poet, Asa Johnson. Round of applause, there you go.
Slam poetry is a wonderful platform. You have 2 opposing views in the literature world. Some people look at slam poetry as an avenue for non-writers to go up and banter. But I don't believe that. I don't like to critique art on that way. Art and its history has been a place for people to come, I think, to share ideas and to collaborate and to not judge, you know? Like, I mean, you can, but like, you can't condemn somebody for sharing what they think is beautiful. Gabriel Garcia Marquez says that fiction is the truth he lived in. And so that holds true for myself as well. I found my salvation through works of literature, works of art.
Don't be afraid to pull the bricks from your feet and skip to your next location, because the greatest distance, I swear, is still the one within you. Woo! Get the finger to self-reservation and go on to be the thing you always wanted to be but was too afraid to do. Keep sonnets in your sinews, rest in your lover's whispers, snuggle with change until it becomes your constant. Learn to look at yourself in the mirror at any time of any day and know that the definition of beautiful has always been found within your own reflection.
Writing is a tough job. I think it's because you live so much in your head. It's like this, it's an excuse to almost be a schizophrenic, if you will. You have all these stories and all this stuff, and it sounds incredibly romantic, you know, to be a writer. And it is in some ways, but in a lot of ways it's so hard. It's really hard. But I do it because it's more difficult not to, and it hurts even more not to do it. So it's not really a choice, you know? One, we broke glass with our knuckles to see who would cut the deepest. Your wombs smelled like autumn, coin, ash. Mine like pine, corduroy mud. Burned like a thick sap, the blood. 2, when the scars came, we named them after the states we got them in. Wrong turns come in the shape of Arkansas, Tennessee, split lips welcome, West Virginia, Missouri. I got them for saying all the wrong things too, perfectly. Some like to say I'm a smart ass, fuck them. Connecticut, I didn't jump fast enough. New Mexico, I still got your railroad tracks in my fist. That broken heart contour happened somewhere in Texas. The canine tooth I carry in my back pocket is a reminder that you don't kiss on the mouth. And when I tried it, after a few pints too many, you threw a jab so hard to my jawbone, I woke up blacked out and lonely. I call that state Mississippi. 3, I quit drinking tea. 4, if I didn't think about you as often as I do, I would have forgotten you by now. 5, I know the answer to forgetting. You have to admit what it is you don't want to remember first, once. In an effort to do this, I took a 34-hour shower, burned the bed sheets, decapitated the flowers, mistook hot water in a bowl for soup. I didn't want to say I was starving, slept naked on the roof. I wish I could say it was my roof. It wasn't. Punched myself in the throat to get the hiccups out, swallowed lightning bugs so you wouldn't pass me up again. This is why I glow and talk the way that I do. I grew up in a small town. I'm the first person out of 4 generations to have left Mississippi. It was just too constraining, you know. I needed to go out elsewhere so I could feel a little bit more accepted and come into myself, I guess. Austin is a pretty much queer-friendly place, meaning that you don't have to feel like you have to stick to a certain neighborhood. Being a a queer person here in Austin as I think it's one of the greatest cities to be queer, or be a gay or lesbian or trans or whatever. I'm a firm believer in energies, and I think Austin has a really great energy about it that fosters a lot of eclecticness, and I think that resonates with me a lot. I think home for me is where I feel the most the most at home in, the most comfortable in, you know. It's a place that you go to rejuvenate and relax. I think it also feels comfortable and familiar too. Yeah, it's a feeling, you know. You just feel it, I think. 6. There's an Italian word that encapsulates the feeling of not wanting to forget even though you know how to. It's called malinconia. Some interior satisfaction in an incompleteness that one, unconsciously, never wants to fully resolve. 7. I slit my tongue with a paring knife so I could pull your name from it, throw it in the swamp, leave it in the dirt, in behind the muck. Thought it was a good idea at the time, until I woke up with a mouthful of blood and heard that you had changed your name again. 8. This body is my home. If I open the door for you, would you take off your shoes and be careful where you step next time? 9. Do you believe in next time? Or would you agree with me that to believe in them is to partake in the grandest lie, for time does not stand still? People, or do we have a terrible history of passing each other by? 10. I say this because you live in a city below the sea. When the moon comes off the tide, I sometimes smell autumn, coin, ash. This is how I know some don't heal. When I trace the outline of states in the form of scars, wondering about the glass we broke, and if you ever missed the smell of my pine. 11. What you need to know is that the lightning bugs will not come out of me. My home was their welcome. I glow from time to time. I drink tea now. I stopped with whiskey. There's a burn when I bleed. I still carry that canine tooth, but I don't cry near as much when I think about how I came from Mississippi.